Yeah, I mean, as a therapist and someone who practices therapy a lot and who has been in my own therapy, for many years. I started going to therapy when I was in my late teens, and have gone on and off over the years. I'm a huge advocate of therapy because I've experienced the benefits of it in my own life, and I also witness it in my clients. So, um, I certainly am a big believer. I know that, this is always a tricky thing to discuss because it is so subjective and everybody has unique circumstances in terms of what's available to them
Mhm.
and what they have access to. So, so I can't say a hard and fast rule for everyone, but I believe very, very much in therapy and doing things that we can do to help ourselves beyond medication. And medication is an absolutely great choice for, people who are appropriate for it too, and it can really help alleviate symptoms. And that said, like a lot of times what I tell clients is sometimes when we go on medication and antidepressant, it helps open up some brain space to then be able to really participate in the therapy work or in our own self growth, whether it's reading material and practicing skills. Um, and that's what research supports too, that it's usually the combination of medication and therapy that yields the best results.
And do you think that's a problem a lot of guys have is they were told to be the man, be the strong, silent type. And,
Yeah.
you would go to hospital with a broken leg. But so why wouldn't you go with a brain injury or a mental health or something you struggle with? And how do we get through that stigma, especially with
Yeah.
young people, that it's okay not
Yeah.
to be okay?
Yeah, yeah. And I have so much hope for the next generation because I work with a lot of teenagers and I think that something shifting in the mental health landscape for younger people and teens, and that they're more open and talking about being in therapy and their mental health struggles and taking medication. That's what I observe,
Mm,
at least in the corner of the world that I am in, and I think that's wonderful. And I think places like social media are helpful in cultivating that awareness and that openness. That's one of the reasons why I got on Instagram in the first place, is I felt like it was an opportunity to hopefully create some impact and influence and help people access mental health tips and ideas and wellness that they might not otherwise
mm,
have access to, and also destigmatize it. Because when we talk about it, and like I said, in the beginning, even me saying as a therapist, I've been in my own therapy, was hard for me to say in the beginning, when I first started writing and I first started talking, because I was dealing with my own stigma around it from where I came from and how therapy was viewed. So I think the more that we all talk about our stories and we recognize that there's so much overlap and so many of us are struggling with the same things and finding benefit in the same things like antidepressants. I really admire people who openly say, yeah, I'm taking an SSRI, or I just think it's like such a brave, strong, and healthy modeling thing to do, because then,
mm.
it lets other people come out of the woodwork and say, oh yeah, me too. Or what's that like for you? So I think just talking about it openly, honestly, suspending judgment is so powerful.
Because when I first started, I was like, no, can't tell anybody. It's a deep, dark
Mhm,
secret. You got to hide it.
mhm,
Now I'm kind of
mhm,
saying to people I meet,
mhm.
oh, yeah, oh, you tried NLP, read cognitive behavior therapy. And people are kind of
Uh-huh,
going, oh, right. Is that not normal to think like that or to act that way? And I think we're
uh-huh.
kind of learning as we go. Like when somebody taught me that I wasn't my thoughts, that blew me
Uh-huh.
away because I always
Yeah,
assumed what came in was natural. Why does
totally.
our brain create that, and how do we realize it's not a action prompt? It's just a suggestion that our brain's using, like the bias of the situation.
Yeah, so interesting because maybe some of it's emotional maturity too, but I'm thinking about my own experiences as a younger person and how I put so much stock in my thoughts.